Hey, what up, guys? Here's our weekly analysis going into the last week of March. It's kind of crazy because I remember making the first week's analysis video for March, and we're already on the last week, man. Uh, Friday, we had a pretty bearish close, especially with the sell volume spike right there. And bulls failed to recapture the 522 level and kept on getting rejected on SPY, that is. The moving averages are still on quite bullish side. As you can see, we are pretty far from it, but there's a high chance we might pull back to at least the 9 EMA. Sorry for all the crazy lines there, which is my blue line here. So we might pull back at least to the 517 level. On the hourly, we are sort of hanging on, barely hanging on to this small trend line I have drawn there, but depends on what we do in the next almost 12 hours. We'll either hold this level or break below, right? So for my SPY PTs, we either break 520, we go back down to previous all-time highs where we double topped, right? The 518 level. We can look to go long there. Let me actually get rid of some of these lines here. It's easier to chart. Yeah. So once we tap the 518, if we don't hold, we're gonna go back down to the secondary support, which is the 515 level, and that's also where the daily, not the daily, hourly 200 EMA, the red line here, is sitting right at. So it makes sense as a support. And once we get there, we'll reevaluate all the volume, moving averages, price action, and come up with different ideas. But for now, those are the levels we have. Failure to hold 520. We got 518, 515. We somehow hold it, right? Then I can see this bull flag breaking out above 522. And we're going to retest for the 524 and possibly break out to the 530s per my Fibonacci levels. But we'll see if that happens. Now let's take a look at the ES futures. Uh, Futures did open. It's not, really doing much. It's very similar to SPY. Again, trading inside this small channel we have here. Gonna get rid of some of these lines. Make it a little more clean. Yep. So not doing much yet. We got a kind of a pullback candle going on there, but again, almost 12 hours left until market. We don't know what's gonna happen, but very similar to SPY. Failure to hold within this channel, we're gonna drop down to the previous high levels here of the 52.52, and failure to hold there will pull back down to the secondary support, which is 52.27, and after that we're gonna flush all the way down to the 51.80, possibly 51.50 level. We shall see when we get there. If we somehow hang on to this support, right? For bulls, we still need to ultimately break outside of this channel, so 53 level for us to see 53.20 again and more. Otherwise, I think that we're gonna just chop inside this channel for a little bit. Let's take a look at Apple. Apple, obviously, a very big down day on a Thursday and somewhat of a reversal day uh, on Friday to close a week. Nothing significant. Not really sure if we can make it up here. Apple's been dealing with a lot of negative fundamentals outside of the market, especially getting sued for all that stuff. So that's not a good look. And we also uh, broke outside of this annual trend line here as well. So I'm not really sure if we can reclaim it. Um, NVDA breakout formation out of this symmetrical triangle here. We broke out on Thursday, right? And then we pulled back and then we held on to the 913 level, which is really good because this is what sent the second leg up to the 950. So as long as market holds, I believe we can test 973, previous all-time high, and even to the 1,000 psychological level. So I do think that's definitely a possibility. Chart looks great on NVIDIA. Next would be AMD. Not too interested, not really doing much. I mean, just close as a doji candle, no momentum, not much. Let's get Google. Google also at a quite of an interesting spot here. If you look at the weekly chart, we are testing right at that all-time high. It's a weekly 151 level right here. You can kind of see the bull flag breaking out here, right? But it doesn't look as great as Nvidia just because of the gap and this double rejection we had on the Monday session and also on the Friday session. I think that we might trade sideways for a little bit longer, and we're either gonna fill the gap here down to the 143 and then reverse, or if we somehow take out 152 this week right here, I think we can do a small push to at least the 154 level, and we'll go from there. But even the RSI, I mean, the my momentum indicator, it's not really looking the best in terms of upside. I mean, we could technically pump still, but the risk and reward wouldn't be there. Last one would be Amazon. Again, very interesting look here. Very tight accumulation range. We have an inverse head and shoulder setting up here. Shoulder, head, shoulder. And also ascending pattern there as well. However, it's been quite struggling at the 178 to the 180 area. This was an obvious liquidation move for the upside because as soon as we broke out, the next day we had a major gap down. However, defended the green trend line, which is this line I have right here. Okay, so we can kind of adjust the trend line here again. So more consolidation inside this channel possible, but ideally what I want to see is I want to see another attempt at a push, and once we pull back, I want to see bullish confirmations instead of a liquidation like this and drop all the way back below. I want to see some sort of hammer candle, bullish engulfing candle, momentum candle, and then I'll feel much safer going long there. Otherwise, I would avoid trading this unless we hit either the key levels. So re-breakout above 180, or we get a complete breakdown below the trend line and the 174 support, and we'll look to short there at the retest of this support. Previous support turning new resistance, right? So 172 retest, we can look to short. But that is it for me. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment or tag me in the Discord.